Hello students, I am your teacher Manpreet Kaur and in this lecture I am going to teach you The Merchant of Venice Act 3 Scene 2 from line number 104. Now you know very well that Bassanio has come to Belmont to make his choice of caskets and he is already there now at this point of time in this act. He is standing in one of the rooms in Portia's house and here he is very much ready to choose the caskets. Okay, now as you can see, hard food for Midas I will none of thee, nor none of thee thou pale and common drudge between man and man, but thou meagre lead, which rather threatenest than dost promise aught. Thy paleness moves me more than eloquence, and here choose I, joy be the consequence. Now in this the hero, I should say, Bassanio says that when he is close to the gold casket, he says hard food for Midas. Here is a reference to a wealthy king in Greek mythology, Midas. So what he did was, once he took a blessing from Dionysus, the god, that whatever he touches becomes gold. Okay, so wish was granted, but later on when he used to touch anything when it was turning gold, he got irritated, and he also touched his daughter and she became the daughter of gold, and later on he asked Dionysus to take this wish back, and this was done so, and moreover the food which he used to eat also used to become gold. So hard food for Midas means the king, when he used to touch the food, it used to become gold, the hard food which cannot be chewed. I will none of thee, so gold casket, I am not going to choose you. Nor none of thee, thou pale and common drudge between man and man, and nor even the silver casket, which is a mean of business, okay, passing from one man to another in the form of the silver coins. Thou meagre lead, which rather threatenest than dost promise aught. You dull lead, you seem to be threatening me more, because here on the lead casket it was written, who chooseth me shall have to risk all he hath. So he says that you threaten me, the lead casket, you threaten me rather than promising. Thy paleness moves me more than eloquence. But whatever is written on you, the message which is written on you, it moves me more than any eloquent message. The good message is written on silver and gold, so your message moves me more than the other messages on the other caskets, and here choose I, so therefore I am going to choose you. Joy be the consequence, may I get joy after choosing you. Now Portia says, how all the other passions fleet to air, as doubtful thoughts and rash embraced despair, and shuddering fear and green-eyed jealousy. O love, be moderate, allay thy ecstasy. In measure reign thy joy, scan this excess. I feel too much thy blessing, make it less, for fear I surfeit. Now Portia here is overjoyed because she knows that Bassanio has chosen the right casket. Now as soon as Bassanio chooses the right casket, Portia, she being overjoyed, she says that how all other passions fleet to air, like she feels very light in weight, because all her thoughts, doubtful thoughts, all the other things in her mind, all the fears, okay, everything has flown into the air. And shuddering fear and green-eyed jealousy, even the fear has gone away when Bassanio chooses the casket, and green-eyed jealousy. Now green was the color which is actually associated with jealousy by the people in those times, and here jealousy is personified. Jealousy is considered to be the monster having green eyes. And shuddering fear and green-eyed jealousy, O love, be moderate, allay thy ecstasy. Now she says that all the monstrous thought, all the green-eyed jealousy thoughts from her mind, they have flown into the air. And she also prays that, O love, be moderate. O love, become a little less, because I am scared that if I get overjoyed with love, if I get too much of blessings, then I may not be able to bear them. Okay, means she is showing her excessive feelings of joy in these lines, and she says that, oh love, be moderate, become a little less, allay thy ecstasy, in measure reign thy joy, scant this excess. So become a little less, otherwise I will not be able to bear the excessive joy. तो वो मुझसे सहन नहीं हो पाएगा. सो शी इज आस्किंग दैट बिकम अ लिटिल लेस. आई फील टू मच दाई ब्लेसिंग, मेक इट लेस, फियर फॉर फियर आई surfeit. So I fear lest I should suffer from excessive blessing. So just make it a little more less. Bassanio, what find I here? So Bassanio, when he opens the casket, he says, okay, let me see what I find here, opening the laden casket. Fair Portia's counterfeit. Oh, I find the portrait of Portia, because in the right casket he was supposed to find the portrait of Portia. What demigod hath come so near creation? I am scared that what kind of person has made this picture, the heavenly picture. What demigod means? Half divine person. I think that some divine person has made such a creation. The creation here means the picture of Portia. He has made picture of Portia in such a manner that it seems to be alive. Move these eyes. So he's saying that, oh, when I look at the portrait of Portia, when I look at her eyes, it seems to mean that the eyes are moving, because the picture is so lifelike. Or whether riding on the balls of mine, seem they in motion. So he says that either the eyes of Portia in the portrait, which was made by demigod, are moving, or those are just mine eyes. Okay, mine eyes, because I am just looking, staring at the picture in the eyes. So maybe it looks to me that my own eyeballs are riding, and that is why I feel that these eyes are moving. Here are severed lips. So here are the parted lips. And now Bassanio, he praises the lips of Portia, which as he sees in the portrait. He says that, see the parted lips, which are parted with sugar breath. So sweet a bar should sunder such sweet friends. Sweet friends here means the upper and the lower lips. Okay, so they are like good friends, but they are separated, they are parted in the picture. Here in her hairs the painter plays the spider, and hath woven a golden mesh to entrap the hearts of men. And her long golden locks, her long golden hair seems to be painted by the painter by playing a spider. So they are like the web of the spider in which the hearts of men are trapped, in the hair of Portia. Faster than gnats in cobwebs. Now the hearts of men are entrapped in the golden hair of Portia in this portrait, faster than the other insects which are trapped in the web of the spider. But her eyes, how could he see to do them? I don't know how the painter has painted the eyes of Portia. Having made one, methinks it should have power to steal both his. I think that when he made one eye, that one eye of Portia was able to steal both of his eyes. Maybe the painter also has fallen in love with Portia just by painting one eye, and leave itself unfurnished. And that is why maybe he has left the portrait, made it incomplete. Yet look how far the substance of my praise doth wrong this shadow in underprizing it. So far this shadow doth limp behind the substance. Here is the scroll. And he also says that, I think that whatever praise I am showering upon the portrait of Portia, I think that it is doing injustice with the portrait, because Portia's portrait, or Portia herself, she is beyond all the praise. So In the same way, the portrait falls short of the original, that is Portia herself. So he says, oh, I'm praising the portrait of Portia so much, but actually in actual Portia herself is so beautiful that if I will if I am going to praise the portrait so much, I feel that I am undervaluing Portia herself. And then he says, here is the scroll, the continent and summary of my fortune. Then he says, now here is the scroll which is there inside with the portrait of Portia, and let me now summarize my fortune. Let me see what I got. तो मैं पढ़ के देखना चाहता हूँ कि मेरी किस्मत में अब क्या है. And then he reads. Then he says, you that choose not by the view, chance as fair, and choose as true, since this fortune falls to you, be content and seek no new. So here the scroll reads that you have chosen not by the outer appearances, but you have been judgmental, you have judged the things rightly, and chance as fair and choose as true. So you have played a fair chance and you have chosen the right casket. Since this fortune falls to you and now fortune is yours, be content, be satisfied, and seek no new, and do not seek anything else now. If you be well pleased with this, and hold your fortune for your bliss, turn you where your lady is, and claim her with a loving kiss. And the scroll also says that now if you are contented with whatever you have, and now if you hold the fortune that now you have accepted Portia, now what you do is you have to turn wherever you are standing and you claim, you own this lady Portia, now give her a loving kiss, and now, then Portia will be all yours. A gentle scroll, fair lady, by your leave. Now he says, oh, what a gentle scroll it was, and he seeks Portia's permission for a kiss. Then he kissing her. I come by notes to give and to receive, like one of two contending in a prize. Now he says that I come by note. I have come by reading this scroll to give and to receive, to give a kiss and to receive a kiss, like one of two contending in the prize. Okay, for completing a prize. So he is going to give and receive a gentle kiss from Portia. Now here in the scroll it was written that he has to just kiss Portia by just turning from the place. Okay, and why he say that, okay, I am going to give as well as receive? That things he had done well in people's eyes. So all the people those who are standing here, he says that things he had done well in people's eyes, hearing applause and universal shout. So he is hearing the shoutings of happiness from all the sides where he was standing at that time. Giddy in spirit, he feels like he is feeling giddy means usko jaise chakkar aa rahe ho. Still gazing, he was still gazing all around in a doubt whether those pearls of praise be his or no. So whether the people, those who are praising him, belongs to him or not. So he himself is not able to believe that he chose the right casket, and he got whatever he came for. So thrice fair lady stand I, even so as doubtful whether what I see be true, until confirmed, signed, ratified by you. That is why he says that until I am fully confirmed that I won you, so I want you to confirm it by giving me a kiss in return. Okay, only then I will be confirmed that I have won you, I have chosen the right casket, and I am going to marry you. So only it is when you give back a kiss to me, until confirmed, signed, ratified by you, I will be, until all these being done by you, I will be doubtful whether all these things, all these applause, all these praise and shouts are for me or not. Okay, thank you students. We will meet in the next class and we will start with the speech of Portia. Thank you. Have a nice day.